This morning we are going to be continuing on with cylinders, but now we're going to be looking at sector volume. So remember, a sector is a fraction of a circle, so we're going to be looking at finding the volume of a fraction of a cylinder. So let's just start with these familiar proportions. The one that we are adding to is this one here at the end where it says sector volume over cylinder volume. So again, that sector volume is the fraction, the cylinder volume is the whole. So you need to add that to the top of your notes with those arc length, circumference, sector area, circle area, central angle, 360. So we're going to be using all of these depending on what we're given and what we are looking for. So let's just look at what exactly a sector of a cylinder is. If the top of it is going to be a circle, so you can see this part over here, this outlay sort of part, just kind of shows you that you've got your sector, which is again a fraction of a circle. You've got your radius, you have your arc length, which is AB, you have your central angle, and then instead of just being up the circle, it carries all the way through the cylinder, so from top to bottom. So it's like you're cutting out a piece of cake or cutting out a piece of a barrel. It's got 3 dimensions versus just a sector of a circle, which has 2 dimensions. So let's just look at one here. Excuse me. So you can see on this one, you've been given the sector area, because that's what this is indicating, is that you have the sector area. And then you are given the radius, which is 7, and then the height. So you can fill in everything you need. We are going to be looking for sector volume, but I gave you circle area, so we're going to choose this one here to use. So let's just fill in what we know. We know the sector area is 25.6, and we can find the circle area because I gave you radius, so we're going to do 3.14 times 7 squared, and we're going to come over to our calculator, 3.14 times 7 squared. And this becomes 153.86. We are looking for this, but I can also find the volume of the cylinder because I gave you enough information. Remember, it's 3.14 radius squared height. So again, on my calculator, I'm just going to take this over here and multiply it by 12. I get 1,846.32. Now I'm going to use what I know about proportions. I'm going to cross multiply, divide. So I'm going to take that number, multiply it by 25.6, and then divide it by 153.86. And so this is 307, the sector volume, 0.2, and because it is volume, it is centimeters cubed. So let's move on here to the next one. So this one I happen to give you arc length, but I'm still looking for sector volume. So let's fill in what we know here. I know my arc length is 16.328, and I can find my circumference because I did give you diameter. So 3.14 times 26. Let's just do that in our calculator. 3.14 times 26. So this is 81.64. I'm looking for this, but again, I can find the volume of the cylinder. I'm going to take pi radius squared height. So because the diameter is 26, the radius is 13. So 3.14 times 13 squared times 30. And this is 15,919.8. And now I'm just going to go ahead and solve this using cross multiplication divide. So I'm going to say times 16.328 divided by 81.64. And so the volume of this particular sector is 3,183.96 inches cubed. Remember, it is volume, so it's cubed. Let's look at this one. This one I happen to give you the central angle. So the central angle on this says 90 degrees. So I'm just going to fill that 90 on the top, 360 always on the bottom. We are looking for sector volume. And so I did give you radius, so I'm going to take 3.14 times 6 squared times 20. So let's just put that in our calculator. And hit equal. So this is 2,260.8. I'm going to cross multiply divide, so times 90, times 90 divided by 360. And so this sector volume is 565.2, and it is meters cubed. Please, please, please make sure you label your volume. So here's another one that's a central angle, so let's just do one more of these. Central angle is 60, always over 360. We are looking for this, and I can find this because I gave you radius, which is 8 squared times 5. So let's clear this out. So 3.14 times 8 squared times 5. So this is 1,004.8. Now I'm going to cross multiply divide, so times 60 divided by 360. And so I'm just going to round to the nearest tenth, 167.5 meters cubed.